Hi everyone, good morning. Today is 3rd of February and I welcome you all to the Hindu newspaper analysis discussion. Guys, in this particular video, we will be covering all important articles in Hindu, but articles from other newspapers and important sources such as PIB Down to Earth would also be taken up. In this particular session, we are going to cover articles for the mains, that is a rising tide lift all boats. It is a kind of an overview with respect to investments government has done in social justice. Then defamation, law commission has given its recommendation. Then in prelims, plastic credit bond, neural link brain chip, black crown night heron and green roofs we are going to discuss, and for mapping we are going to discuss Nepal. Also along with that we are going to take a current affair based MCQ questions so that we are up to date with respect to revisions also. These questions are framed on the basis of current affairs articles that we have discussed on previous days. Also, we are going to discuss a quotation for essay or GS papers. So let's get started with the session. But before that, first of all, let's take current affairs MCQ questions. Okay. So now, uh, this is the question that we have. Okay, just a minute. Okay. So here we have a question and the question reads, consider the following with respect to e-ink displays. So if you remember, we have discussed e-ink displays, low power consumption, fast refresh rate, low cost, low eye strain. Choose the correct option. So please choose the right option and leave your answer in the comment box. And it is very good that a lot of aspirants are participating in it. So when we have this particular compulsion that yes, tomorrow we have to write the answers, we have to give the answers, we read it more carefully, we are more attentive. So have this particular habit. Then moving on, next question that we have, which state is associated to Shumung Leela theatre scene currently in the news? So choose the right option. Fine. Manipur, Mizoram, Nagaland, Meghalaya. Next question, consider the following statement with respect to Kyrgyzstan. India conducted joint military exercise in Cyclone with it. The capital is Bishkek. It has borders with Russia to the north. So choose correct options out of this. Okay. So this is about questions for today. Now guys, let's discuss the correct answers of the questions that we have already taken up. With respect to recent nominations of Maratha military landscape to UNESCO World Heritage Site, choose the correct option. So we have taken this question already. So correct answer of this is first, the timeline was between 14th to 19th century. No, it is not right. Timeline was in 17th to 19th century. Forts are built across Tamil Nadu and Maharashtra. Yes, they have been built, and in fact, the 12 forts that have been nominated, it includes one Ginji fort of Tamil Nadu. So second statement is right. So right option will be B, 2 only. Then next question that we have here. So you can pause the video and you can watch for the detailed answer. Ratle hydroelectric project, run of the river dam, is located on which river? So we have seen that it is located on the Chenab river. Recently it was in news. Okay, you can pause and you can see the explanation. Then consider following statement with respect to snow leopard. So snow leopard was also in news because snow leopard count has been conducted recently. It is estimated that Sikkim has largest population. Wrong. Snow leopard has an IUCN status of critically endangered. Wrong. It has vulnerable status. Project Snow Leopard is the earliest conservation program which was launched in 1972. No, it was launched in 2009. So which statement is correct? None of the above. Where is the highest population of snow leopard? It is in Uttarakhand. It is in Uttarakhand. So Uttarakhand has the highest snow leopard population. So that is all about it, guys. And I hope that you have got the right answers, and very good. All who have attempted it, irrespective of the fact that how many you are getting right, attending is more important. Also, please, when you answer, also please write that what was the score that you got previous day. Out of 3, how many were correct? All 3. So 3 out of 3, 2 out of 3, 1 out of 3. Likewise, please leave that also. Now, moving on, and let's discuss articles one by one. So first, we are going to discuss the GS quotation. So today we'll take quotation from Archibald MacLeish. He says that democracy is never a thing done. Democracy is always something that a nation must be doing. Okay, so democracy is all about process. Democracy is all about systems. Democracy is not a destination. Democracy is a way of political life. So a nation always is moving in the direction of being more and more democratic. Now, please guys use this particular quotation in essay as well as GS paper number 2 governance related questions. Also guys, someday we will be repeating the quotations also so that have you are revising it also, because reading quotation does not solve the problem, but these quotations should be internalized. You should remember it so that you can reproduce in your examination. So remembering them, recalling them and revising them is also equally important, because if you don't have it in your mind in the paper, then it is no logic of reading them. Fine, because they are not just the motivational quote, they are academic quotations. Now let's take first article for today, but before that guys, so the first class of Roundup 2024 is going to be conducted today 6 p.m. Already orientation workshop has been held on 31st of January, and up till now if you have not enrolled, you can enroll in this course. It is going to be a dedicated one-stop solution for current affairs for upcoming prelims examination, that is examination being held in May 2024. In this, entire current affairs will be discussed in or will be covered in the theme-based manner such as environment, ecology, science and tech, social justice, IR, etc. Also, classes will be followed by MCQ questions to ensure effective revision. So, first class is going to start from today. You can enroll in the course by visiting our website sahilsari.net. Also, enrollment link is given in the pinned comment. From there also you can enroll. Now, so first article, the rising tide lifts all boats. Now, this particular article, guys, it is giving a kind of an overview with respect to recent steps that government has taken in budget. Now, article, it is a kind of an overview article. So, in both GS paper number 2 as well as GS paper number 3, you can use it, particularly GS paper number 2, social justice. Now, article provides this particular thing that now India has seen a decade of transformation, and we see this particular thing that though pandemic happened, because of pandemic a lot of disruption happened, then right now global uncertainties are going on because of Russia Ukraine war, because of high global inflation and because of Israel Hamas war. And around the world, major global economies, they are struggling to grow even at a rate of 2.5%, but in this particular capacity India's growth rate is consistently at 7%, and also India is now able to manage its inflation also. We have seen it in yesterday's budget video also. By the way, yesterday we have discussed the entire budget, both static as well as current affairs dimensions. If you have not seen it and if you wish to cover it, you can see that. So we have yesterday seen that inflation is also controlled, and also persistently we are growing at the rate of 7%, which shows that Indian economy is at a sweet spot. Now, Indian economy is further going to leverage two of the sectors, that is the space sector and the renewable energy sector. Now, you know this particular thing already, that ISRO has made so many high profile launches, including the Aditya L1, Chandrayaan 3, and many more such launches are there in the arsenal in 2024. Also guys, in renewable energy, India is taking a lot of steps. If you already be knowing, government of India has already adopted the goal of becoming carbon neutral by 2070. Okay, also what has happened, we have taken the goal that 500 gigawatt of renewable electricity will be deployed in India by 2030. So therefore, renewable energy is something in which we are going to move forward. Also, if you remember, and if we connect one additional point, Prime Minister recently announced Pradhan Mantri Surya Uday Yojana, in which 1 crore rooftop solar panels will be deployed, particularly on the roofs of the poor and lower middle class people. Okay, so in renewable energy, we are moving forward. Then preventive health checks are something that is more needed. We need to invest more on in the preventive health care. Now, when we talk about healthcare, guys, there can be certain different dimensions of healthcare. There can be curative healthcare. Fine. For example, I got fever. I am now taking medicine. That is curative healthcare. Preventive healthcare. Preventive healthcare is that, for example, you took COVID vaccine so that you don't altogether get infected by SARS-CoV-2 virus. So preventive healthcare is taking vaccines, is to immunize your population. Now on preventive healthcare, much more is needed to be done. But yesterday's budget has specifically focused on HPV vaccination, that is human papilloma virus vaccination. Now, human papilloma virus vaccination prevents the girls from cervical cancer, which is one of the most prominent and pervasive form of cancer that infects the women. So, HPV vaccine will be given, which will protect the women from cervical cancer. Also, guys, what has happened? Government has given additional allocations for the healthcare, particularly maternal and child healthcare. Saksham Anganwadis will be promoted. Okay, so that will be going to further help the nutritional and health needs of women and child. Then also we see this particular thing, guys, that investment in health always pays the best dividend. In last we see this particular thing that in last 40 years life expectancy of India has increased from 53 years to 70 years, and that too when we have just contributed 2% of budgetary allocation to health. If we would have contributed 5% of our budget to health, then even more improvement could have been there. Now understand this particular thing. India is going through the window of demographic dividend, but young demography is not going to be any advantage for India if that demography is not healthy, if population is not healthy, that cannot contribute in economic activities. So for that, improving or enhancing the budget for health is very much important and can give a lot of long-term dividends to India. Then the foundation for innovation and revolution. Now, 1 lakh crore rupees with 50 years interest free loans will be provided to private sector, which will help the private sector to carry on more innovations. Okay, but now guys, when we talk about India spends just 0.7% of its GDP equivalent in research and development, just 0.7%. Other countries, fine, such as China, US, they are spending between the range of 2 to 2.5%. So India now has to invest in R&D, and now dedicated support will be given to private sector in this particular budget. Also, what has happened? Enhanced investment that is being done in the health will help to further improve many anomalies that are there in health. For example, skewed doctor-patient ratio. Okay, now guys, WHO provides that there should be one doctor at every 1000 population, but we have one doctor at 1456 population approximately. It will reduce healthcare cost, also out of pocket burden. So around 56% is out of pocket burden in India. All that will be improved. Then medical value travel. Medical value travel. Okay. Now, when we talk about tourism, guys, understand there can be many different dimensions of tourism. There can be recreational tourism, there can be cultural tourism, there can be spiritual tourism, there can be ecological tourism, and one more very important dimension of tourism is medical tourism. So medical tourism is when people from other country are coming to India to take some medical treatment, medical procedures, medical surgeries. Now, when we talk about India, India has state-of-the-art medical facilities, but that at 1/10 of the cost which is there in the Western countries. So, therefore, medical tourism is something that we can leverage upon. Okay. Now, guys, understand this particular thing. Medical value tourism is something that we can leverage upon, and in this capacity, Heal in India is attaining the greater heights. So that is something that government is going to focus upon. Also, guys, government is going to focus on enhancing connectivity. Will we focus on enhancing connectivity, new corridors? We have seen that 3 new corridors are being developed. That is the energy corridor, port corridor, and the high density corridor. What it will help? It will help a lot of Indian people. It will help a lot of Indian people to access the good quality healthcare, which is often located into the metropolitan cities, big cities. Okay, so this is something that is there. Now, also, the most important thing with respect to this particular budget is that fine, that there were the hidden figures, private expenditure and its rise and increase in consumption. So basically, the private sector is going to be very important player, and as budget has as the budget has come out with its reform packages, it is going to propel the growth in private sector, and private sector through multiplier effect is further going to bring the growth. Okay, so that is all about it. And in the past also private sector has done well, and government's philosophy is nice in this particular line. This particular viewpoint has been suggested by this article. So that is all about this. And now moving to the next article. Law panel suggests retaining criminal defamation provision. Now this particular article we are going to see with respect to GS paper number 2 polity, fundamental rights and related issues. Now basically, guys, what has happened? 22nd Law Commission, 22nd Law Commission has submitted its report with respect to defamation, with respect to defamation. So basically, when we talk about defamation, fine. Now, what is defamation? Defamation is making certain allegations, okay, is making certain allegations, making certain remarks, or saying something which strips a person of their dignity, strips a person of their dignity. Okay, now understand this particular thing. Understand this particular thing. That when we talk about defamation, now understand this particular thing, that there is one particular aspect of right to life. First, we'll understand that, and then we'll go to right to life. So basically, within the scope of right to life, within the scope of right to life, there is right to reputation. There is right to reputation that has been provided. Now, if a person's reputation is lost, everything a person loses. A person's credibility of character is lost. Okay. So right to reputation is very important. Law Commission provides this particular thing. Law Commission provides this particular thing, that reputation is an asset. Reputation is an asset which cannot be seen and can only be earned. It is an asset which is built in a lifetime, but it is destroyed in the second. Fine. Now understand this thing. Often people, as a part of their freedom of speech and expression, makes certain remarks on a person's, makes certain allegations on a person, or questions the character of a person. Now, even if that, now see, sometimes these things are wrong. Okay. But what happens? A person's dignity, a person's reputation has got impacted. Now, this particular person has to be given some power so that he can protect his reputation, so that he can protect his credibility. And therefore, defamation law has been there. So, section 499 of IPC provides for defamation. In defamation, a person can file a case against another person who has made unsubstantiated allegations against a person which has impacted the reputation of a person. So, to protect one's reputation, fine, defamation law has been provided in section 499 of IPC. Now, in past, it has been provided that this defamation goes against the right to speech and expression. In the past, it has been seen that when some credible allegations have been made, then also the defamation has been filed. Okay, so whether we should remove defamation or whether we should retain a defamation. Now, Law Commission has advised this particular thing, that defamation should be retained. Defamation should be retained. Law Commission says that the right to reputation is also derived from Article 21. So, Article 19, fundamental right to speech and expression is important, but Article 21 is also important. And Article 21 gives right to reputation, and right to reputation is supported by the defamation law provided in section 499. Okay, so now we have seen this particular thing, that in past 2017, the matter to see whether defamation should be removed, this particular matter was referred to the law panel, and now law panel has given this particular thing, that it should be retained. Okay, so this is about this entire development. Now, moving on to the next. So this is the article specific for prelims examination, and this particular article we are going to see with respect to economy and environment section prelims. Okay, now this particular article talks about plastic credit bond. This particular article talks about plastic credit bond. Okay, now basically what has happened recently, World Bank and Citibank, they have signed a memorandum of understanding. They have collaborated and they are launching 100 million plastic credit bonds, 100 million worth of plastic credit bonds. Now, what are these plastic credit bonds? First of all, what is a bond? What is a bond? So simply, bond is a debt instrument. Bond is a debt instrument that is used by any entity to get money to raise funding. Okay, for example, let's say government often issues bonds. Now, government wants to raise money for some infrastructure project, or they want to raise money to finance the budget. They will issue a bond. In that particular bond, for 10 year, 15 year, 20 year, actually they are taking a loan. So bond is a debt instrument. It is a type of a loan. Now, what is this plastic credit bond? So basically, this is a financial instrument which is specifically designed to finance the plastic collection to, this is to complete, designed to complete the waste and finance the plastic collection recycling project. Now guys, let's talk about the India. When we talk about India, we see this particular thing that there are so many waste processing plants in India, waste processing facilities in India. First of all, large waste collection in India, it is in informal hands. But still, if some waste collection is happening, that is very important and can move towards the sustainability. But around the world, large number of waste collection plants or projects, they are struck because they don't have the funding. They don't have the funding. So to fund the plastic collection recycling plants, these plastic credit bond will be given to them. These plastic credit bonds will be given to them, which is a kind of a loan, okay. Now these plastic bonds, they follow the line of the rhino bonds, which were specifically given for wildlife conservation in Africa. Okay, now moving on to the next article. Moving on to the next article. Neural link brain chip. Neural link brain chip. So basically, neural link brain chip was recently in the news. So what is this neural link? So basically, guys, Elon Musk's the founder of Elon Musk, who is the founder of SpaceX and Tesla. Neuralink is a brainchild of him. Now, in Neuralink, what they want to do? They want to insert a chip in the brain of a person. Now, this particular chip will act as a computer interface. So, basically, what will be done? A device called as a telepathy, fine, which is a chip. It will be implanted into the human. Okay, it is a coin size chip and surgically it is implanted in the skull and it is connected with the ultra thin wires. Now what it does, it creates a brain computer interface. And by this particular thing, a person by his thoughts can control screen of a mobile phone, can control the screen of a computer. Now guys, understand this particular thing that there are many degenerative disorders such as ALS is there. Okay, there are, for example, ALS is there. There are many different kind of a paralytic diseases that are there in which a particular person loses their motor capacity. Fine. They don't have control over their hands. They don't have control over their legs. Okay. And in that capacity, these people are not able to live a dignified life. So if these people are implanted with this neural chip, that is the telepathy chip, with their brain, they can create the computer screens, mobile screens through their thoughts. Fine, they can operate electronic devices. So it is going to improve the quality of life for these particular people. Okay, right now, basically the efficacy of this particular thing is being seen. Okay, and the person who has been implanted this particular neural link is now recovering. Now understand this particular thing, that this particular development opens up certain issues also, particularly with respect to ethics. So for ethics, GS paper number 4, we are going to discuss it. So basically, what issues open up? So basically, first, it opens up the risks associated with the brain surgery. Now, guys, understand this particular thing, that brain happens to be the most important part of a human body. Right now, as trials are being done of these particular neural chips, if they are being implanted on a person, and now see, you give a vaccine, you give a medicine to a person, impacts or side effects might not be long lasting, but you are implanting a chip in a brain of a person, the impacts might be very long lasting. So if there are some adverse impacts, if there are some negative side effects, then basically who is going to bear the cost for that particular thing? So this is the one ethical side, this is one ethical sides. Okay, also guys, it includes the privacy concerns, surveillance concerns. Now guys, we don't know that now see, any new technology is like a black box. Fine, we don't know that what its implication will be. Okay, so how far this computer chip can control the brain of a person, these particular dimensions have also questioned by some of the activists. So therefore, this particular ethical concerns come. But there is one more keyword that you can use in your answers: transhumanism. Transhumanism. Now, what is this transhumanism? So transhumanism is a theory which provides this particular thing, that if any scientific development or intervention is being done which can improve the quality of life for human, then it is not unethical, it is not bad, it is acceptable. So you can use this transhumanism theory here. Then next, black crowned night heron. Black crowned night heron. Okay, so basically first of all let's see black crowned night heron. So here you can see this particular bird. This bird is the black crowned night heron. Okay, now recently guys it was observed. Okay, so recently guys what happened, find a juvenile black crowned night heron landed around a pond in Imphal, and then later it died. Now when we talk about this night heron, so it is a medium sized heron, it is a medium sized heron bird with a stocky build. Stocky build means a fluffy build. It a fluffy build. If you see here, if you see here, then you see that this type of makeup, stocky or a fluffy build is there of this particular heron bird. Okay, now moving on, when we talk about this particular bird, fine, it is usually found across North America, Central America, and the Caribbean, particularly in the wetlands around the streams, rivers, marshes. It is found. Now a question comes that the habitat of this particular bird is around North America, Central America, Caribbean. So how it came to Imphal, India? How it came to Imphal, India? But after that it died. Now, when we talk about this particular bird, it has a stocky body with comparatively short neck and legs. Females and males look alike. Okay, but females are little bit smaller. Okay. Now, conservation status is they have been regarded as least concern on IUCN red list. Least concern on IUCN red list. Now, they are most common in the tropical region, and they basically, when we talk about that, fine, these particular birds, they nest in rough platforms. Okay, on and they platforms of sticks which are constructed in the bushes or trees or the near water. So that is about it. Okay, and on the species, questions have been asked into the past, so please ensure that you keep it in your mind and also use it, put it in your notes. Then we have this concept of green roofs. So basically guys, here you can see the photograph of green roof. So what are these green roofs? Green roofs are the roofs which are made waterproof, and then the soil cover is put over them, and in that soil cover these plants, flowers, grasses are grown. So this is the green roof. Recently what happened? Mayor of Paris, Anne Hidalgo, introduced the concept of green roof in Paris. Then it was in news, and now what has happened recently what has happened, the experts, they have said this particular thing, that if green roofs they are treated with mycorrhizal fungi, then they help in fostering more diverse soil community, and also it supports the long term sustainability of the green roofs. So mycorrhizal fungi, if it is used, it ensures the sustainability of the green roofs, and also it supports the soil community. Okay, now when we talk about green roofs are also called as the vegetated roofs, living roofs. Vegetated roofs, living roofs. Why? Because a lot of microorganisms, earthworms, etc., fine, they live in this particular roof. Also what happens, it also gives habitat to many animals such as squirrels. Fine, it supports a different variety of the birds also. Fine. Now, these green roofs, they contain waterproofing membrane. So, there will be a roof, let's say a normal roof. Then there will be a waterproofing membrane. Okay. Then there will be a growing medium, that is a soil. Okay. And then there will be the plants that will be planted in this particular green roof. Okay. Fine. Now, the layers of these roof can accommodate drainage, storm water management, and waterproofing is also provided. Okay. Now, there are intensive green roofs which could be used as elevated parks, and can support wide variety of shrubs, trees, even trees. Fine. Now when we talk about the green roofs, okay, basically they can support ground cover. Also these green roofs, when we talk about that, they reduce the energy cost. Fine. How it reduces the energy cost? Now understand this thing. You might be knowing about the urban heat island effect. Urban heat island effect. Now, what is urban heat island effect? Often what happens, temperature in cities, it is higher than the nearby surrounding areas. Why? Because buildings in the cities, they absorb a lot of heat. Why? Because they are made up of glass, they are made up of steel. Also, the roofs, they are dark in color. So therefore, they absorb a lot of heat. So therefore, due to urban heat island effect, temperature in the cities is higher. But these green roofs can help. How they can help? Number one, as they will be green in color, what will happen, rather than absorbing all the light, they will reflect that particular light. Also guys, what will be happening, as there is a soil cover over the roof, it will give a cooling effect, and by that, expenditure on air conditioning will be reduced. So it will save on electricity cost, it will save on energy cost, will act as natural insulation, create peaceful retreats for people, animal. You can just go and you can have a leisure time there. Okay, so this is about the green roofs. Now, moving on to the mapping. So, Nepali Parliamentary Committee to visit India to learn about monkey culling. Fine. So, basically, guys, what is culling? Culling is a systematic killing of an animal which has become nuisance to agriculture or to people. Okay, and in the past, many such culling operations have been done by India also for different animal species. Okay, now for monkey culling, Nepali team will be visiting the India. Okay, now let's discuss about the Nepal with respect to the mapping. So first of all, when we talk about states which makes the borders with the Nepal, is we have Uttarakhand, it makes border with the Nepal. Then we have Uttar Pradesh. Then we have Bihar here. Then here we have West Bengal. Then here we have Sikkim. Okay, so all of them makes the border with the Nepal. In fact, when we talk about Uttarakhand and Nepal, there was an issue also of Kala Pani, Limpia Dhura and Lipu Lake. So Kala Pani is, it belongs to Uttarakhand, but Nepal has disputed over it. And in fact, a new map that Nepal introduced in 2020, in that Lipu Lake, Limpia Dhura, Kala Pani was shown by Nepal as a part of their territory, which actually led to problem in the India-Nepal relations also. Now, when we talk about Nepal, guys, there are some important protected areas also that are there in Nepal. First of all, there is a Chitwan National Park, which is located on India-Nepal border. Then Bardia National Park is there. Okay, Shea Pukchondo National Park is there. Fine, Annapurna Conservation Area, fine, is there, and it is located around the Dholagiri. Fine. Then Langtong National Park is there. Everest National Park is there, and Mansalu Conservation Area is there. Okay. Now, guys, here we see this particular thing, that particularly the Bardia National Park and Chitwan National Park, Royal Chitwan National Park, they lie in the vicinity of India-Nepal border, Okay. Then further guys, we see this particular thing that often West Seti Dam is also in news, which is being constructed on Seti River, which is tributary of the Karnali River. So often it is also in the news. So you understand it is also in Nepal. Fine. West Seti Dam on Seti River. Okay, now let's discuss some geographical aspects with respect to Nepal. Now, when we talk about Nepal, Nepal is a landlocked country, okay, of South Asia. It is bordered to China in the north and India to the south, east and west. Okay, then the capital of Nepal is Kathmandu. Okay, the states which make border we have already seen: Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal, Sikkim, and Bihar. Now, one very important river of Nepal is Sharda River, which flows in India. It is called by the name of Sharda, Mahakali, or Kali Ganga. Now, this river, Kali Ganga or Sharda River, it makes the boundary between Nepal and India. Okay, and treaty basically this boundary along the line of Kali River was established by the Sugoli Treaty of 1860. Okay, then Kosi project, the water of the Kosi project, they are shared by both India and Nepal. Then connectivity projects have also been taken between India and Nepal, and the most important is the rail line link between Kathmandu and Raxaul in Bihar. Now, when we talk about India-Nepal relations, it is often characterized as Roti Beti ka Rishta. It is characterized as Roti Beti ka Rishta. Roti Beti. It is because large number of people of Nepal, they get employment, livelihood in India, and Beti because matrimonial ties between the people of India and Nepal are also there. Okay, so people to people tie, cultural ties have been there. Also, there is a Treaty of Peace and Friendship of 1950 between India and Nepal. India and Nepal. Now, in the past, Nepal has asked that this particular treaty should be revised. Okay. Also, I told you that there is diplomatic tension on the Kala Pani. Fine. So this is about it. Now, okay, or guys, and also one more important thing is there. One more important thing is there. Fine. Yes, Kala Pani issue that I have already told you. Okay, so that is all about this particular issue. Now, guys, with this, we come to an end to this particular session for today. So I hope that you have understood this session. And guys, if you have liked, please do hit the like button. And as it is a Saturday, we don't have text and context. In editorial also, one entire page is ground zero. Fine. And we didn't had that much articles today. So this is all about the today's session. So thank you so much. Now we'll be meeting on Monday. Till then, please take care of yourselves. Thank you.